Hi everybody, my name is Gala and I'm an artist and a mother and a teacher and a disabled person, and I think about suffering a lot. So I'm going to talk about suffering, but not Buddhist suffering, because I'm just not educated enough. I only have like the tip of the iceberg of education about Buddhist suffering, the concept of suffering in Buddhism. And I do consider myself a Buddhist, and I've been thinking about suffering all my life because I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, excuse me, which has disabled me since I've been a tiny tot. And I remember suffering greatly, pain, actual physical pain, not being able to keep up with my parents on long walks and hikes and things that we used to do, that anybody born into a very active family that goes for walks every day would have adjusted to. When children adjust to what activity levels their families are in, the fact is that I never adjusted because I'm disabled. It wasn't discovered. It wasn't investigated. It was just passed off as me being complaining and being a little bit lazy and out of shape, which wasn't the case at all. But then there's suffering, emotional suffering. And, I've had, unfortunately, a rich history of abuse, and I've gone through, a childhood with a perfect 10 score on the Adverse Childhood Experiences questionnaire. So I've suffered physical, mental, and emotional abuse, and on sexual abuse as well. So there's that kind of suffering. And then there's also just everyday life angst, existential suffering, just being in this world. And the problem that I've always had with the Buddhist perspective, one of the noble truths is that life is suffering. And one of my problems with that is that, yes, there is plenty of suffering. Life is full of suffering. However, those moments are fleeting. And what I've actually found is that life is joy. And I think that if we pursue happiness and joy, then we notice when we're not happy, and then we suffer because of that. We suffer from the absence of happiness. But if we just try to live our lives like I do, the best you can, to be the best person that you can be in the world, and just put out good, positive energy, and just try to do the right thing at the right time, right? That most of the time, suffering is just a moment. And then it passes, and we become our natural baseline selves, which I believe is joyful. And the reason that I can't shake this idea is because I'm an early childhood educator, as well as being a disabled person full of suffering. And when I go into daycares and observe student teachers, I also observe the children. And when children start out in life, they start full of joy. They really do. If their needs are met, they are happy. Their baseline is good happiness, joyfulness, contentment. That's what children are. And children are human. So by extension, all humans, underneath all of the worry and all of the thoughts and all of the angst, right down there at our base, we are joyful beings. And I think not knowing that is a kind of suffering. So that's my opinion. It's based on my experience. And I hope that was a little bit interesting for you. And I hope you're having a joyful Sunday. All right, love you lots. Talk to you later. Bye now.